What's going on, guys? Davion here, 777's Barbell Club with a Week 7 recap of Evolve AI. I'm actually starting my strength block right now, so it felt good kind of getting back to some of those heavier weights. Was a very busy week work-wise, as well as just this last little bit of holiday shopping, ripping around town. So I know myself, I've been pretty low energy this past week, and I'm sure some of you guys are probably feeling that as well. But make sure still find that time for yourself. You know, get to the gym, get out to your garages, and make sure that you get that work in and work towards those gains. So we can just hop right into what we actually did this week. So as I mentioned, this is going to be my first strength block. So this is the first time that I really dealt with some of those high weight benchmark sets, and I've actually had a pretty good time enjoying them now. So if we start off with actually my first day, my first lift, actually my competition squat, I ended up doing 425 for an RPE 9. Now squats are one lift for me that as I actually watch the squat or as I'm actually doing the squat itself, it feels super heavy, it feels super slow. But when I go back and I watch the video, it doesn't really feel as bad, which I don't remember where I saw this at before, but a lot of people suggest, you know, even if you don't plan on making any sort of videos, it's still a good idea to maybe record some of your lifts so you can kind of see, you know, how you're actually progressing, check your depth, and go back and see how it feels. Because a lot of time when you have that heavy weight in your back, you know, it's going to feel, you know, one way, and then you want to go take a look at kind of that recording on the end and, you know, put those two things together and really make a good distinction of how you felt, you know, that weight actually moved. And then after that, my back off sets was actually 4 sets of 5 at 305. These move pretty well. And I would say one thing that I actually like a lot about the benchmark sets is that once I get that really heavy rep out of the way, once I come down, that other stuff, not to say it flies or it's super easy, but, you know, once you're at RPE 9, you come down and do some sets at RPE 6 or RPE 7, it's going to be a lot smoother than maybe, you know, what it would have been if you just hopped into those other things. So that is day one, pretty smooth, nothing too bad. Hopping over to day two was actually Spoto Press. Now, Spoto Press was one of the lists where I did not use benchmark sets, and I think this is something that I'm still trying to get some clarification on. The way that it's designed, are we supposed to be kind of using those benchmark sets for whatever our primary movements are for that day, or just if we're doing competition variations of that movement? But the Spoto Press felt pretty good. I was doing this in my hypertrophy block moving into this as well. I do, you know, I like it. I feel kind of tighter at the bottom now. I'm kind of keeping that tight tension all the way down through the motion instead of kind of just like dive bombing it like I may have been doing in the past. But overall, day two went pretty well. Spoto Press, fine. I won't go into some of those assistance movements, but just lat pull downs, things like that, nothing crazy. And if we actually hop into my day three, this was the day where I was pretty burnt out and I had deadlifts. It always lines up that way. And it ended up being a 475 at an RPE1. It was supposed to be an 8. I ended up tagging it at an 8.5 instead. So it felt a little bit more heavier than an 8, but, you know, I wouldn't say a 9. But also going back and watching the actual recording, it looks a lot smoother than it kind of felt while we were doing it. And then the back off sets for my deadlift, it was 3 sets of 4 at 380. Again, those deadlifts felt, you know, pretty heavy that day, but, you know, had a lot of other stuff going on. But I do like, again, being able to kind of get that heavy single out of the way at that RPE 8. It feels pretty good. And then the last day of the week, since I am doing 4 days right now, is going to be day 4. Literally just got finished doing this right now. And I actually had competition bench. That was the main movement of the day. And for this day, I actually went in and selected 2 benchmark sets. So I had a just a single rep at an RPE 8. And then I also added in 3 reps at an RPE 9. So the first one here, it was going to be 295 at a 1. I rated that as an 8. Looking back at the video again, that moved pretty smooth. I really am happy with the way that moved. I would say normally, you know, even though I did hit that 320 in my last comp, like, unless I'm going into a peak, like, I feel like my bench really lags. However, you know, with how that moved, I actually felt really, really confident. And then adding in that second benchmark set, that single at 3 at 285, those felt super, super smooth. That was supposed to be a 9. I actually rated that at an RPE 8.5 because I don't know if I could have for sure gotten 2 more reps, but I know I had at least 1 more. So, you know, tagging that at that RPE 8.5, sorry. And then my last set of competition bench for the day was a kind of the back off. So this is going to be 225 for 5 reps. I believe the app actually, and tell me if any of you guys do this, but for the sake of time, if the app's going to give me something like 220 and I already have, 2 plates, kind of on there already, I'm probably going to go ahead and just do 225. I know that's probably not the best thing to do, but I'm sure a lot of us do that, especially when we're crunched on time. And again, kind of my assistance movements of that day, simple stuff. One arm cable rows, Arnold press, overhead tricep extension. I'm not going to bore you guys with any of that stuff here. Don't know if you can hear that truck outside. But yeah, overall, week 7 felt pretty good, rode pretty consistently. Really looking forward to kind of the weeks going forward and really kind of doing those singles at the 8s and doing those triples at 9s and maybe even putting some of those things into my squat work to get more kind of heavy squat work. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for taking a look at this video. I really appreciate all of the support. Davion out.